So I'm trying to clean up the workshop and get it all organized, get everything done before I move it into the other building and try to slowly move towards having a hardware store, an actual store open. And so I decided to mill all of the remaining logs that I had, little offcuts and pieces. And so I cut it last night with my chainsaw, planed some of the boards. And as I was packing up, a neighbor came and asked me, hey, can I give you 20 bucks to help me cut up this couch? And I was like, well, shoot, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. So I saw that it had mostly just 2x4s in it. And so I got the chainsaw and I tried that. It actually worked really well. Honestly, I have a bunch of chains, and I'm not too concerned if it hit one of the splinters. I didn't expect the thing to kill a chainsaw would actually be the stuffing in the cushion. I only lightly grazed the cushion, but once it started pulling that fibrous material, it just whipped around the bearings. So, note to self and note to the world, all those Hollywood movies of like people cutting stuff with chainsaws and all that, they'd probably gum up the works really quickly. Now, granted, this chainsaw bar that I'm going to repair in this video it's heavily abused, and the nose had already kind of been locked up from the get-go. I'm planning to replace this bar with a longer one since I do rip cutting with it, so I'm kind of just seeing what I can get away with it. It's kind of like how that Works chainsaw that I had, I used to dig through clay with. You can do a lot with them, but you can't cut stuffing. Interesting. Well, here's the video of the kind of tedious way to replace the bearings in the front of a Milwaukee chainsaw. Definitely not made to be serviceable, but I still serviced it. Now, this bar had already been seized up for years, and I've just been thrashing it. But what actually got to the point that I needed to open it up, well, not really needed to, I could have still run it, but I was curious enough, is I was cutting up a couch, because I just do everything with this chainsaw, and I accidentally hit some of the fluff from the cushions, and it just sucked it up. It was amazing. I think the only thing to really do is to grind off the other side as well and punch it out. That's what we got. Kind of what I expected, to be honest. And it's peened over to really lock it in. Oh, maybe there's like resin stuff in here. Yeah, there's a lot of gunk in here. And this is just only like the top of it. This is the issue with having something you can never open. Okay, so I was actually able to clean out a fair bit just with my knife. It seems like there is like a, well, maybe caked on grease or something. It's almost like a plastic on the side. It might be a bit of those fibers, but this has been stuck for a long time, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was stuff caked on the side. You know, it's one of those things where I could replace this, or I could just keep going. And this is the result of several years of keep going. I can still maybe fix it. And at worst, I got years more use out of this, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. and I can just buy another one for 30 bucks. But I think this should be pretty simple to fix. I'm just going to take this and bend it over. Well, would you look at that? Now we have the answer to what that sound was and how is that gap bridged. I was able to find a good number of those on the ground. I'm not sure if we have a full set, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if we even had a full set to begin with how much that was splayed out. We could have missed a few from the beginning, because that bar had an issue where the sides were going away from the start. Hammered it in a little bit. Didn't fully fix it, but now I'm gonna use this wire. It's a little bit better. Since this is such a sharp interface, I'm actually using this as a way to cut this. This is actually working. Well, I not only found one more, I found two more bearings. I am happy with that. I added the grease to help keep them stuck down. So we have 12 bearings. It's probably supposed to have 14, but oh well. Wow, it's not gone south yet. Now it's all fucked up. Oh no, it's not. What? Okay, fine. I guess it's perfectly fine. I think I may have gotten this flipped upside down. Maybe it works with this side. There we go. Let me get my big ass nail out then. course, this side's going through, but I don't want that side to go through because I have to pull this thing out. Drat. Yep, I think they're all down. The other piece of metal you see is just the backstop. Okay. By the way, this is part of an emergency exit sign. The colorful lens. Look at that. Honestly, good enough. Actually, a little bit better than before. The blade was wider before. Never realized you can actually see the bearings. Not be the healthiest, but I saved 30 bucks and I'm gonna get more years of use out of it. Let's see, is it too tight? No. Okay. And that's pretty much that. Some people might say that I should buy a new bar for it, but if I'm going to buy a new bar for my chainsaw, I'm going to buy a longer one. A couple years ago, I had actually tried to buy a new one because I can't remember what happened, but it bent out the bar in the very on the nose, and I thought about replacing it with a longer one, but I couldn't quite find a bar and a chain that would really match that Milwaukee. So I just stuck with that one, and I'm not going to pay money to replace that bar with another bar of the same size because I use it for rip cutting. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where, well, if I replace the bar, what's going to happen? I mean, if I don't replace the bar, what's going to happen? The bar is going to get damaged. Well, I'm already going to be throwing it away anyway if I replace it, so I might as well go until it entirely quits. Right now, it doesn't sound very good, but does it matter? Don't really think so. All I need to do is cut some of that wood like that. I'm not going to touch it because I have grease on my hands now, but yeah, that's pretty much that. I've never taken one of those apart before. I didn't know they had those cylindrical bearings in them. Well, I hope this helps you guys if you found yourself in the same situation. And that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.